Hello Virgo, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for December for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some key strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail all the key influences particularly relevant to your sign. Now, as we begin this month, Saturn and Uranus are prizing apart from a mighty struggle which has gone on for 2 years. If during that time you felt really conflicted between what you wanted to pursue in terms of your own individual needs and freedom against your responsibilities and obligations, it really wouldn't be a surprise. But that dilemma is going to ease a little bit from the 3rd. Now, Neptune, the planet of dreams, has been in your sector of relating since 2012, but it's also been in retrograde and in a square with Mars, the planet in your situation, which has been in the 10th house. Mars in the 10th house since the end of August has given you a lot of drive and determination to raise your profile, but the last couple of months may have seen some very confusing developments, particularly professionally. Well, Neptune goes forwards on the 4th and has also ended that right angle to Mars, so that's really good news. But in the early parts of this month, I think it is your home base situation that you could be thinking about, also exactly where you live or how you live there. But later in this month, there is the winter solstice, a gorgeous new moon for you in your 5th house, which gives you an opportunity to really embrace the seasonal celebrations, but your ruler Mercury does slam on the brakes for the 4th time this year as the year comes to a close, so I need to explain the significance of that to you, and also the role of Jupiter, the planet of growth, which is also going to be moving out of your sector of relating and diving deep on the 20th. So please bear with me for all of that. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what year 2023 will hold for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast. If you order it in year 22, you'll get the rest of that year free. Plus, in my special package, you can get your life roadmap, your character analysis. Having this will help you to understand some of the repetitive patterns that have come up in your existence, perhaps the more challenging ones, but also the ones that give you opportunities. And having a deeper understanding of those can help you to really flourish in this new year. In my special package, you can get 30% off, so please see the link beneath this video. Also, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you already have, thank you so much for your continued support and views. So Virgo, as you come into December, so the Sun, your ruler Mercury and Venus are all in House 4. House 4 is very much to do with our immediate environment. If you're planning on having visitors for the seasonal celebrations, then the chances are you're going to be busy making plans at the start of the month. You may be very busy trying to push through some last minute changes and improvements, whether this is decorative or to do with furnishings, or it is to do with actually having recently moved. But there could be a little bit of family politics early on in this month. I know that that's not unheard of at this time of the year, but from the 5th through to the 10th, Mars is in an opposition with the Sun, and Mars continues its retrograde all through this month. I think it's important not to react to a situation too forcefully if someone is difficult or tries your patience. Because Neptune goes forwards on the 4th, some of the misunderstandings that may have presented themselves around relationships, or just if other people have seemed quite draining to you through the last 2 months, that should be less of an issue this month. But I also feel that you could be tempted to be much more outspoken in asserting how you feel. And once your ruler moves on the 6th into the bubbly 5th house of your situation, injecting a little bit of your natural good humour can be a very good way to help to keep the balance. But there is a very dynamic full moon on the 8th, and this sees the moon very close to Mars. So if there is something that you're a little bit unhappy about, whether it's professionally or personally, it's likely to bubble to the surface in the following 2 weeks. But on the 10th, Venus joins up with Mercury and glides into your 5th house. This brings out the more affectionate and even romantic side of your nature. So even if someone is being really challenging, if you can try to use that little bit of humour, a little bit of good grace, it will be helpful. But I have to say, a Mars conjunction with the full moon is quite volatile. Yet in week 2, the Sun forges a very productive link with Saturn. That part of your nature that likes to be really organised is really given a lift across that week. But then from the 10th through to the 17th, the Sun squares up with Neptune. So if there is someone who seems very sensitive, it could be someone you're very close to, and it's proving a little bit frustrating to understand exactly where they're coming from, again, try to retain a degree of detachment and cut people a little bit of slack, I feel. The 20th, however, Jupiter moves back into the sign of Aries. If there's a financial issue, and obviously we're all facing financial headwinds, that has required some negotiation or discussion over the last couple of months, good news could manifest before the end of the year. The 21st, however, sees the winter solstice. Now this sees the Sun glide into your 5th house. Because this is a more outward location and joins up with Mercury, Venus and Pluto, the bubbliest and more social side of your nature really starts to come to the fore. But it does square up with Jupiter, as does the new moon of the 23rd. So if there is something you're interested in that's more speculative and more to do with investing money, I would be uber cautious, because the Sun squaring with Jupiter can make us very generous, but also a little bit less careful with our resources. But then, having said that, you may find yourself being very generous to those people who are less fortunate. Now the 29th sees Mercury go into its 4th retrograde of the year in the sign of Capricorn. There could be some last minute changes of plan, particularly when it comes to the New Year's celebrations. But Mercury is forging a very fine link with Venus. And for some Virgos, I think it's possible that there could be some kind of reset or surprise development around your love life. Perhaps you're going to reconnect with someone or rethink something, and there could be a positive outcome despite the retrograde. Of course, the other thing that could also happen is that there may be the opportunity to have a date, and then a last minute change can cause some disappointment. But with Venus combining with Pluto as this year comes to an end, a very fated set of energies are really presented to you to bring the curtain down on 2022. If a relationship does go out of your situation, see that rejection as a possible protection, because something else could be coming through for you, particularly next year when Jupiter from the 16th of May moves into a very positive and an adventurous part of your situation. So any freedoms that are granted at the end of this year can bring new rewards or new people your way next. However, if you're wanting to be more devoted, there could be a development as year 2022 ends that is very gratifying indeed. On Christmas Day, the moon's in Aquarius, which is a very practical zone. If you are the person who's going to be hosting, I'm sure that you'll be working very, very diligently to make sure everybody's needs get met in the most lovely of ways. If you're on your own for Christmas Day and it's not a choice, you will be particularly in my thoughts. If you are with others and enjoying yourself, have a fabulous time, and wishing you all the best for year 2023.